Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to MEDCO University for Tuesday, February 12th, 2013. Tonight, our host is Miguel Currit, the Senior Account Representative for 3M Automotive Aftermarket for MEDCO. Miguel tonight will be talking about new solutions from 3M that meet the demand of today's shop's real-life conditions and issues. 3M's innovation always sets the standard for products that can bring labor savings, decreased cycle times, decreased touch time, and more importantly, a better produced repair and ultimately better customer satisfaction. As a bonus tonight for our webinar guest, we will be at random picking two of our guests tonight to receive a 50-pack promo sample 2-ounce size of 3M's new Perfected X scrubbing compound that Miguel will be talking about tonight. And as always, if you have questions during tonight's webinar, if you move your mouse to the top of your screen, you'll see a drop box drop down. And on the right-hand side, there is an icon that says chat. If you click on that chat box, you'll be able to type in your question and send it to the panelist. And Miguel and I will be able to see your questions and try to answer them either at the time or get to them at the end of the presentation. As always, tonight's recording will be brought up on MAU tomorrow under the MEDCO University tab, and you'll be able to re-listen to tonight's presentation or pass that information on along to other members of your store. There will be several videos in tonight's presentation. We're hoping that the internet speed allows for good viewing of those videos, but if it does not, and regardless, we will send out an email tomorrow to all the participants of tonight's MEDCO University with a link to all those videos, and as well as we will post them on our website tomorrow. So with that, Miguel, I will turn it over to you.
Good evening. Thanks a lot, Mark, and thank you all those who are in attendance. Appreciate your time this evening. Let's just make sure we got audio and video check, Mark. Everything okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So we'll move right into it. As Mark had indicated on the notification that went out ahead of time, our topic this evening is going to be on paint finishing and also on dirt trap, which are both obviously related. When we get into the paint finishing side, we're excited to announce some new products that are going to help solve some issues that are common that you're hearing from the shops, including, first we're going to go actually into the buffing process and help solve some buffing issues as far as not only the performance of the compound, but also the cleanup time, which is a common complaint. Then we're going to get into the denibbing process and talk about a way to save time and material usage. And then we're going to tie into dirt trap because it's, like I said, it relates to the paint finishing process, and talk about ways to go ahead and offer a cleaner environment with some of our new dirt trap enhancements, which are all these products that we're talking about are all February 1st launch, so the timing is great on this. So when we get into paint finishing, these are some of the common buffing concerns. So show of hands here. How many have got these questions out there? I tried to capture the common ones, but when you talk to painters, detailers, and also the managers, these are some of the top ones. Obviously, swirl marks is a big one. Takes too much time. Cleanup is difficult, especially when they leave the car outside. They try to get the compound out of the different jams and the cracks. How many times have we heard dieback? Looks good inside, you take it outside, first a shot of sunlight or after they wash the car, they still see scratches. And then dark car is a common problem there. So I think we've captured some of the major ones there. Like I said, with our announcement tonight, we'll be able to capture and solve these issues. So what we're announcing is our new Perfected EX rubbing compound. It's a new product, like I said, that's just announced February 1st. And these are the major enhancements. Of course, extra cutting. You're not going to lose any performance as far as that goes. And some of the nice new features with this product are the handling of the products. We've got a lot of concerns out there and talking to those that are buffing, that they wanted something that was not only going to cut, but also going to be able to stay wet. It wasn't going to get dried up too quick, and also easy to clean up. And these are under all different conditions, such as hot, humid conditions, fresh paint, And then, of course, as you always expect in 3M, it's going to leave a real nice finish for you. So these are the main enhancements with this product. So we're looking at this compound that'll, we can confidently say that it'll take out a 1200 grade scratch and finer. Of course, we're going to recommend our Trizac grades as we refine that scratch, but you can go right to the 1200. That's probably the best way to actually demonstrate the product, that or 12 or 1500, just to show the performance characteristics compared to any of our competitors. These are the new part numbers. 36060 is going to be the quart, and 36061 gallon. As Mark had mentioned, we're also offering this product in a 2-ounce packet. It's 50 in a case. We're going to be giving away 2 prizes of those tonight. So this way you can go ahead and give out some samples of the product so that the shops can go ahead and try it out before they make the purchase. And we also wanted to make note that 6060 and 6061, those of you who are selling that product, the extra cut, that'll be discontinued effective August 1st. We want to go ahead and make this switch. We think it's going to be a nice transition into the 36060 and 36061, but just wanted to make you aware of that. So when you're presenting this product, this is a great way to go ahead and get into it. Whether you're talking to painters and detailers or managers and owners, of course, they're both going to have a different perspective. Of course, the ones that are actually buffing, they want something that's going to be easy to use. Managers are just looking at throughput and how much time. So when you ask them about their process right now, these are some of the common complaints as we dive into it that they're going to get. And we'll be, like I said, we'll be able to solve those problems. Are they getting compounds that stick to panels, especially when they're buffing fresh paint, if they're getting on it right away? And then this is a common one, is the difficult cleanup. You'll be able to address that right away. Heavy swirl marks, again, is always an issue. So we'll be able to address that. And then comebacks as a result of sand scratches, because, again, looks good inside. They take it outside, first shot of sunlight, maybe they wash the car, and they can see the sand scratches. And we'll get into that a little bit more. But this is just part of the process when you're talking to your shops about common issues. And then you really want to dive into it, to draw the paint out of them, ask them open-ended questions when they're talking about the process. How often does that happen? Does it happen, like I said, on fresh paint? Does it happen when you take the car outside? Is it just dark cars? That way you can really isolate it and then show them a solution to that problem.
Miguel, if I could interrupt there for a minute with a question.
Sure.
Can the new compound be used out directly in sunlight?
Yeah, I mean, it's always best to be inside just because it is going to obviously dry up a little bit faster. I would definitely recommend it inside, but just like anything else, it'll work effectively. You just want to be careful. Obviously, you want to clean it up as soon as you possibly can.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. All right, so we go to the next slide. Again, you'll be able to solve these issues when we really dive into it. These are the main ones and the main reasons why we came out with this product. You see on the left side, the problem is that you'll hear from the shop, compound dries up on painted surfaces, especially during high heat and humidity. And then, so the main characteristic of the product, which will solve that problem, is it's just going to stay wetter longer. It's not going to dry up on the pad as quick, so therefore you'll be able to avoid that. Then, of course, a common problem, sand scratches. They come back. The issue is they never really took them out, but because of the product buffs so well, you know, and a lot of the compounds, that it actually hides it. It polishes up quick. They think that the sand scratches are gone, but again, going to the right side of the slide here, you'll see that this is going to buff out the sand scratches quickly without leaving that glossy haze. So it'll effectively take those scratches out. And the last one, again, another common one, difficulty cleaning residue, especially when they leave it up, when they grab it the next day or leave it outside. Of course, the sooner the better when they clean it up, but it's going to be a lot easier to remove than competitive products. So any questions about the compound before we move on? All right, so we'll go into this. Yep, go ahead.
I have a quick question for you. With this new compound and obviously the popularity of Trizac, do you have any quantitative numbers on And if a shop is using Trizac and then transitions into the perfected EX compound, how much time they can save on in their detailing process?
Well, excellent question, and we actually have that with our existing compound, which is going to be similar in cut. So it's not going to be that much of a difference, but you're going to see a 50%. So we don't throw around numbers, without doing the studies. When they use the Trizac system, after the 12 or 1,500 scratches that they'll use to denib, they can confidently say they'll use 50% less compound after that, because you want to look at the Trizac, and we'll get into it later when we get into the presentation, that you can confidently say that that's going to cut down. That's like your first step of compounding. It'll start to bring that polish up, and then when you lay that compound down, it's going to be even smoother. So the numbers are going to still stay about the same mark. It'll be about 50%.
Okay.
Anything else before we move into the denibbing process? Okay, so again, the second side, I'm sorry?
We're good.
Okay. The second side of the paint finishing process is the denibbing concerns. And again, show of hands here. Are these any questions that you're getting out there? Obviously, again, kind of ties in with what we just talked about, using too much compound because the scratches are too heavy. Curlicues or pigtails, depending on what part of the country you're from, they'll call them different things. You'll be able to, we'll show you when we play the video, but common when you're using abrasives, especially on a DEA instead of wet standing. Leaves deep scratches again, which will lead to the compound issue, and the sandpaper loads up too fast. So they end up using more material like we talked about. And then for those who are still wet standing traditionally, you just have the moisture, the messiness that's involved, because it's harder to see. You're going to have to clean up the area before you lay the compound down. So either way, whether they're wet standing or dry standing, I said we'll be able to take care of these obstacles. So the solution number 2 for the denibbing process is our new and improved finishing film. You may have recalled that we actually initially launched this product last year, but now we're ready to go. We had to pull it back. And like I said, we'll get into it in more details as far as what we're doing with the products. But the main characteristics are going to be longer lasting abrasive disc. You'll see it in the video. Produces fewer pigtails. You got to be careful anytime you're DA standing. You're still going to have that potential, but it's going to significantly minimize that potential. And then just like they expect with any of our finishing film grades, you'll have an excellent finish. The most consistent scratch that you'll see in any abrasive, as you expect from the finishing film from 3M. So you're still going to have that, and you're just going to be able to enjoy longer last and then fewer pigtails. So with that, we'll go ahead and show the video here. And this actually shows where you can find it.
Has made recent discoveries to improve dry sanding with a dual-action sander in fine-grade abrasives. The conventional dry sanding disc will load and show pigtails or curlicues in the clear coat very quickly. These pigtails could result in deep scratches, which in return can cause comebacks or redos in paint jobs and paint finishing. The conventional dry sanding disc can also wear quickly and quit cutting, resulting in constantly changing the disc. Both of these technician issues result in more discs being used and reduced production in the paint shop. A technician could use anywhere from 2 to 5 discs per panel. With a conventional disc, due to loading or lack of cut, 3M's recent discoveries have significantly improved dry sanding and fine-grade abrasives. With new 3M purple finishing film discs, a technician will see much longer life and less loading, resulting in using less product. Instead of using 2 to 5 discs per panel, a technician can now use 1 disc per panel, or quite possibly 3 to 4 panels. These discs will allow a technician to sand much longer before curlicues or pigtails are present, which will also result in a much higher quality finish. Since there will be less loading, the cut rate will remain much longer than conventional fine-grade abrasives. This will allow the technician to sand more panels with less discs. If you have been running into issues with fine-grade abrasives loading and wearing quickly, the 3M Purple Finishing Film Discs will be exactly what you are looking for. The 3M Purple Finishing Film Discs will last longer and load much less than conventional fine-grade dry sanding abrasives. With these attributes built into the new discs, the shop will complete the job quickly and will bring higher quality results the customer will trust and return to in the future.
Okay, how was the sound, Mark?
It was good. It was understandable.
Okay, good. So before I leave the screen, I just want to show you where that is on our website. Of course, you want to go to 3mcollision.com. And actually, I'll just go there right now. When you go to our main web page, I'll give you a second for you to see it. You'll see on the right, you'll see what's new from 3M. You want to go ahead and click on that. So now you'll see, first of all, the Perfected Family Grows. That's our new compound. We'll get into that a little bit later. Dirt Trap, again, we'll talk about that. And then here's our new purple finishing film. And then you'll see a little link here to learn more. Click on that. And this is nice because when you're at the shop, you can go ahead and show it right on their computer. Talks about the upgrade, and then you'll see the video right here. So you can go ahead and play it. Okay, so we'll go back to the presentation.
Miguel, while you're doing that, another question from the audience. On the website or available in any of the 3M literature, are there any ROI examples that can show that the effectiveness of the product versus older technology or other products? In real life.
As far as data?
Yes. Do they have anything on the website?
I don't know about specific numbers there, but we're throwing the number around that twice the life. I mean, that's what we're seeing here. So again, you can confidently say twice the life on the paper, and it'll take twice as long for the paper to actually queue up, which we'll talk about here when I show the next picture. Does that answer the question?
I will tell you in a minute when the questioner responds.
All right, good. So again, that's a nice little video you can show. We go to the next slide. Hopefully you're able to see it in the video. This is the difference when you see the finish, especially when you're going to go ahead and sand that entire panel. If they're leveling the orange peel, you'll see on the left side the curlicues, which again could take longer for the compound to take that out. And you'll see on the right just a more uniform scratch. And again, you'll still get the pigtails, but it's going to be significantly reduced, and it'll take longer for that to happen. But you'll see the finish right there on the right side. Hopefully that makes sense for everybody.
Is the orbit of the sander imperative with this?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Mark. With the finishing film, we recommend a 3/16 orbit. You might want to go to a 5/16, but I know 3/32, that's when they call the finishing DAs. There's been a lot sold in the industry, and we found that those actually they cause more curlicues faster than like a middle grade orbit or even a heavy orbit. So the 3/32 it just goes over that area too fine, and it just cakes up the paper too fast. So if you're talking to your shops about the upgrade and finishing film, you want to talk about the sander as well. So I like to use the 3/16 for finishing film, 1500, 1200, and then when I get into the Trizac, our 5/16, maybe even a 3/8 DA if you're using another brand. That's the best one for Trizac with the 3000 and 5000. So
yeah, and I think that's a really good point. It kind of goes against what the industry norm has been for a while. That when the term finishing sander came out, it was all a finer, a smaller circle orbit pattern on the sanders. Presumably gave you a better finish, and as you said, they're finding now that a bigger orbit actually throws the debris, away from the work site, the pressure point, in which, gives you less pigtails in the first place. So kind of contrary to what everybody had been taught the last couple of years.
Yeah,
is there any advantages? Any advantages to using this paper in wet, or is it dry only?
With the finishing film, that's going to be used dry. I have some isolated shops, they like to use water on it, but it actually disintegrates the mineral. So I think that's actually why they like it, because it actually takes the sharpness of the cut away from the paper. So the paper's made to be used dry. If they use water, it's just going to disintegrate that mineral and won't be as sharp as a cut. So if you wanted to use water, we have our Trizac, which is available in 1500. It doesn't have the foam backing, so you can go ahead and denib and level the panel if they want to use it wet. But the nice thing with the dry, as you can see in the picture here, you'll be able to see your defects right away. You can see your texture. So that's why the shop's like that. But again, going back to the DA, everybody has those 3/32 fine ones, so it's a great conversation to have. And you can easily demonstrate the difference at the shop if you grab a 3/16 versus a heavier orbit. Even if you use a junk panel, you'll see the difference right away. So again, with the improved finishing film, you're going to use the 12 to 1500, sometimes 1000 if it's you're talking a lot of coats of clear, maybe a restoration job, but typically in the collision industry they'll use 12, 1500, even more popular, to take runs, dirt nibs, and to level the orange peel. And then don't forget about, even though it's off topic a little bit, wanted to make sure we included the 600 to 1000, which you'll use that pre-paint on a blend panel, and typically you want to go with 800 to 1000 just to be safe. So again, you'll see this, the same difference. Mark one back to the orbit of the DA. You'll see the same difference there. If they go to a 3/16, they'll just work a lot faster, and the paper won't load as much either. Even with the new technology here. And I also included the backing pad with 6-inch. That's going to be the more common paper. You want to use the 05551 and the 05777 interface pad. So I wanted to make sure we took note of this slide here, which talks about these are all the finishing film. Like I said, it's new and improved. Now for the 3-inch, which is the first 5 numbers, 30367 through 30371, those are all new additions to the family. So every time you buy that, that'll have the new upgraded paper. I don't know if you noticed in the video that this finishing film, even though it's still film, it's not Trizac, it's still going to have a purple cast to it. It's going to be white, but just a light shade of purple with it. So you'll be able to tell the difference there. And you also see like a red 3M on the back of it compared to the traditional white paper. Now when we get into the 5 and 6-inch, that's going to be an improved product. So you'll see the yellow, kind of like on our website, the new and improved starburst on the packaging. So what we'll do is we'll sell out of our existing 5 and 6-inch with these part numbers here, and then you'll start seeing the new and improved afterwards. So they'll take in consideration the 5-inch, the 6-inch, and then the 6-inch dust-free. So anywhere from 30567 to the 30771. Now, if they want the older technology, they don't want to make the change. We'll still have our traditional finishing film white in our gold packaging, which that'll be numbers 00950, 00969, 967, 00970, and then our gold also with our 3-inch. We'll have that in our gold packaging. This will be considered our premium line, which will be the purple. Any questions so far, Mark?
No, we're good.
Okay, so keep in mind the 3-inch are the only new actual part numbers. Everything else will be existing part numbers that we offer. Just look for that yellow on the back outside of the packaging.
Do you have some sense of where your distribution centers are with bringing the new product in? I mean,
yeah, great point. The plan is to ship the new product February 1st, so that was a couple weeks ago. If there's any chance that we have existing inventory, we're looking at about 30 days. So I would say, after March, confidently, we'll have the new product. But we were told that anywhere after February 1st, we're actually shipping from our facilities the new product. So that doesn't take into consideration, of course, your shelf and what the jobbers have on their shelf as well.
Yeah. Is there any chance that this technology would filter down to the red paper?
Again, great question. Probably not because of the price. You get what, the old adage, you get what you pay for. So obviously the purple will have that. The red will be either a paperback product or we will have a film, but again, it won't be anywhere, won't be up to this level of quality. So only in this this line, the purple hook-it line, will you have this actual upgrade. All right, so when we get into the process, when you talk to your painters, detailers, managers, and owners, ask them about the denibbing process. Ask them if there's anything they can do to improve. And then you'll uncover these concerns when you're talking to them. Are you dealing with abrasives that are loading too fast? Are they wearing out? Are they leaving heavy scratches? And again, the indication is going to be they're using too much compound. Perhaps they're getting some comebacks. Car goes outside. Scratches look good inside, but they're difficult to get out. And then don't forget about those wet sanding users, which might be difficult to upgrade. This might be the time to do it because it's difficult to see that finish. Where if they go with the finishing film, they'll have that dry appearance to it. And then you can repeat the same. Again, it's a little bit off topic, but we're talking about the prepping side, or maybe the painter's doing the blend preparation. You can ask them the same questions. They might be using a Scotch-Brite pad. They might be using the scuff sponges. Perhaps they're using another 6-inch abrasive, but they're going to deal with the same thing as far as finish of the scratch and also the loading issue, so you can pinpoint that as well. So this kind of draws everything together just like we did with the compound. Yeah, really, it's very simplified here. Pigtails, big concern. You go with this new finishing film, that'll be fewer. Life of the disc, another challenge. You'll see, like we talked about, Mark, you're looking at about twice the disc length as far as the longevity, and then the loading time as well. It'll take twice the amount. You saw in the video, they did about 3/4 of the hood versus the old technology. And then finish, that's why a lot of the shops are using our finishing film. If they're using the 3M existing, they're going to get the same type of finish that they're used to. Any other paper that's out there, they're probably getting a coarser scratch or a less consistent scratch. They'll be able to upgrade with this and get that the finish that they're used to with 3M. And again, what that'll lead to is easier buff time. So I wanted to talk about the collateral that we have to offer. And this will be available, I believe, afterwards, Mark, right?
Yes. Okay,
and that'll be electronically available. First of all, we have our a step-by-step as far as our complete process, all the way from the 1500 or the 1200 denibbing step all the way to our ultrafine for the dark cars, and for those cars you want to give that best finished look to. And then when you open up that one on the left, you'll see the product breakdown, whether you're talking about abrasives, our compounds and polishes, and also our buffing pads. And then on our right, we have a specific literature just to address the upgrade in our finishing from 600 to 1500, and that'll address the 3-inch, 5-inch, and 6-inch users. Okay. Also available on our website, but we can get it to you electronically through MEDCO. And then don't forget about the videos. I'll actually go there to show you where that is. And the nice thing with this is you'll see 2 different videos. One is going to be for a full panel job. And what they note on the video is you can actually go from a wool pad to a foam. I know a lot of our customers are already doing that, but it's a good time to make that transition because you don't need as aggressive of a pad now when you're going that. And this ties in the Trizac system that we talked about. The bottom one is a spot repair. Again, utilizing the Trizac system, but this will be a 3-inch DA. And the nice thing on this video is it'll actually show you skipping the compound step and going right to polish because it's such a smaller area. And when you're finishing with 5,000 before compound, that's going to be a lot nicer scratch. Okay. let's take a look here. So again, when you go to our website, you're going to go to what's new, and it's the first section here, which is the Perfecta Family Grows, addresses a new compound. You're going to click on the Learn More link, and you'll see again the 2 different videos, and then on the left you'll see the guides, which are nice. You can use that to standardize the shop. You know, a lot of the buzzwords out there. There's SOPs, standard operating procedures. We have a full panel and a small panel. So you can go ahead and get everybody on the same page, get them on a system. You can print it as a PDF and save it, and you can email it. So these are available right on our site. Let's go ahead and play the full panel. All right, sorry about the buffering on that. So again, you can always go to the spot panel as well. That'll skip the compounding step, and they can use it with a 3-inch. So if they're not getting a lot of dirt, that's a lot quicker method, depending on how dirty the job is. And the nice thing with the video, it's nice and short, concise. It actually shows a little capture of the picture of the products being used. A lot of opportunities here. Okay, a couple other things too, even though they're not new right now, but a couple of products that introduced last year. I don't want to forget about it when we're talking about the paint finishing process. Again, problem solvers here. Trizac, Hook It, P5000, available 3, 5, and 6-inch. You saw it in the video. It's going to be more of an aqua color to it, but it still has that foam backing if you're comfortable, if you're used to the 3000. And you'll expect the same life. If you're used to the 3000, you'll get the same life as the 5000. It's just going to make that scratch even more refined, and again, significantly impact the amount of compound. And also, if you're using the 6-inch, which is going to be the more common, you'll use the 5551 with the 5777 interface pad. Don't forget about this kind of fell through the cracks last year. We also introduced Trizac Hook It foam hand sheets. 3,000 and 5,000. You can see they're rectangular in appearance, 2 3/4 by 5.5 inch. There's just two different packaging. One has 5 sheets in a box and one has 15. And then you'll use that with the 5612, which is a foam hand sanding pad. So this is nice for those shops that want to continue to wet sand. Perhaps they're using 12, 1,500, or 2,000. They can go ahead and, if they're comfortable with that, they'll go ahead and grab the foam hand sheets, 3,000 and 5,000. They won't use as much water. They still want to spritz the water on there. They're not going to want to dump it in a bucket. But those that are comfortable with that method. Also for those that perhaps are using the 6-inch Trizac, but those body lines, maybe there's edges that they need to get. They don't want to get a DA in there. They can use this by hand. So a lot of nice opportunities there. And here's the solution. More refined scratch, which is going to produce less buffing time and cleaner jobs because it's not going to be slinging around as much compound anymore. And again, they featured in the video the Quick Connect buffing pads. This shows the complete lineup all the way from wool to foam. We also have a low linting wool compounding pad, which some may not be aware of. We have the conditioning brush to help maintain those pads, and then the Quick Connect adapter, which makes everything work. They just go ahead and thread that right onto their buffer, and then the pads work. And again, the solution here is a double-sided Quick Connect system. The benefits are going to be quick change between pads. They go from a wool to a foam. They go from compounding to polishing. It's quick. If they're doing a large panel, maybe one side of the pad's wet, they can go ahead and flip that over quickly. They don't have to worry about pad fly-offs because of the attachment material wearing off. That problem goes away, and then the pads are centered every time. How many times that they complain about having to center those hooked pads in the middle there. They don't have to worry about that anymore. All right, so that's it for the paint finishing side. Any questions, Mark, before we move on?
No, we're good.
Okay. So again, if we can eliminate dirt from the beginning, we can solve a lot of problems with the paint finishing side. So we want to talk about booth protection system. We made some enhancements. You're probably already familiar with our dirt trap, but we wanted to make you aware of these. And these are, again, some of the common concerns that are coming up. Obviously, too much dirt in the paint jobs, causing more buffing time. And then those who do have a booth protection system in place, perhaps they're using film, perhaps they're putting some sort of coating on, too much time to remove it. So they end up letting it go too long. So it just makes it difficult. They have to sand it down. They have to rinse it off. We have the opportunity for corrosion in the booth because of the washing and pressure washing there. And then there's always the concern with those shops that are upgrading to waterborne. They have the portable dryers, so there's more flow that's running. There's more airflow running around. Again, more opportunity for dirt. So this is a good time to talk about putting a protection program in place. So the problem solver is the dirt trap surface protection system. What are the benefits? Of course, it's going to trap dirt and overspray, so not only is it going to protect that booth, that large investment they made, but it's also going to grab that dirt that hits it. For booths, reduces the booth cleaning time, like we talked about, whether they're painting it, whether they're putting coating on, film, whatever it is, it's a hassle. And then, like I said, they don't have to worry about water in the booth anymore. Reducing dirt nibs, which is a concern for everybody. And actually, one of the nice benefits, because it's white in appearance, it actually brightens up the area. Maybe there's some difficult areas as far as visibility goes. The more and more that they paint in that booth, and they can enjoy that. And also takes the glare off, too. So if they do have a shiny white booth, because the dirt trap is white still, but it doesn't have, it's a duller surface, it actually takes the all that glare away in the booth as well. So a nice quick video we can show you. Just kind of shows the ease in installation now with some of our new enhancements. Okay. So again, another nice video we have right on our website. Again, under what's new, you'll see, let's go back here. You'll see dirt trap changes, big and small. This is under what's new. Click on the link, learn more. And you'll see the video that we just showed, and then there's at the bottom, there's some more detailed videos as far as installation time, which we'll have a tech service representative actually talking through it. So if you wanted to dive into a little bit more detail, we have those. There's also the dirt trap brochure, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. So you can just direct them right to the site. But the nice thing is the video shows we have tools now to make that installation time a lot easier now. Okay, back to the presentation again. For those not familiar, the dirt trap material is a white, non-woven material that has an adhesive backing, so that way it'll adhere nicely. The nice thing, it's thick enough so paint and overspray won't penetrate it. So that's why once they paint their booth, if they have a new booth installation, you don't have to worry about anything getting behind it. And then when it's time to go ahead and remove it, it comes off nicely, it doesn't delaminate. So you can go ahead and put another roll on. You don't have to worry about once you paint that surface behind it, you're good to go. Nothing's going to go ahead and penetrate that. And the nice thing too is not only is it a protection system, but it actually has that dirt trapping capabilities, which everybody loves to hear that. Nobody likes the buff in the shop. So wanted to make sure we reintroduce that. These are all the different sizes that we have now. And don't forget, not only for the walls, but also for the floor. Some of the shops might want to try it on the floor first because of all the dirt that's on the floor. They can do both. Obviously, the floor is going to be a little bit easier to install. So we have our original 28-inch wide. They're all 300-foot rolls. They're 36-852. And then we have 4 new additions to the family. We have the wider one, the 56-inch wide, for perhaps a truck shop booth or just a real large booth that has that open area. They can go ahead and lay that 56-inch. We have the 14-inch, which is half the width for those smaller areas. And then we have the 6-inch and 4-inch, which makes it a lot easier for those hard-to-reach areas that they want to protect. It also works good for mixing rooms, paint prepping areas, and we're getting a lot of good feedback on protecting tool benches and those type of areas because of the dirt trapping, and leaves a nice surface for them as well. And then the applicators, which the video showed nicely. First of all, the one on the left is the actual wall applicator. It's 20-inch. It's made for the 20-inch wide product. And you can see that it actually moves up and down like you saw in the video. It's got the wheel, so it makes it, you could do it on a one-man job, but either way, it makes life a lot easier because it puts that material on nice and straight and uniform on the walls, and then you can just continue to raise it. So it makes life a lot easier there for you. Then we go to the 28-inch wide floor applicator. Again, makes installation all easier because it puts it on nice and straight. You can actually pull it or push it, so it's nice and versatile. And then we have that 56-inch wide applicator, which is brand new for us. Again, available February 1st. So when we're talking about these, get with your local MEDCO rep, get with your local 3M rep, and we can put some plans together to get these in your hands and put a plan together to hit the shops with these. So again, kind of tying everything in together, these are the nice probing questions you want to ask when you meet with your shops. How much time is spent maintaining their booth? How often are they doing it? Probably not often enough. And then it's a nice time to talk about the paint defects, especially if there's a lot of airflow that's taking place. These are the targeted opportunities that make a good time for you to go ahead and present dirt trap. Obviously, if they're converting to waterborne, it's a good time. Usually they're making some upgrades in the shops already. Perhaps they're putting an air compressor in. Again, perhaps they're putting in some portable air dryers or maybe even upgrading their booth. Those that are going to repaint their booth, excellent time to go ahead and introduce dirt trap. Maybe they're making some remodeling or refurbishing of their booth. It's a great time to talk about dirt trap at that time. Obviously, new spray boots, but there's no better time than that to go ahead and protect that investment. They're spending a lot of money on that. And then the last one really pertains to everybody. What shops don't want to reduce their buffing time? So that's one of the nicer benefits, because not only they're going to protect it, but they can go ahead and grab some of that dirt in the process. And again, this just kind of ties everything together, whatever the concern is. If it's paint finishing time and the flow in the shop and airflow in the booth, you want to talk about the dirt trapping capabilities on the walls and the floor. If they're concerned about the time spent maintaining the booth because of having to repaint, to remove all that material, you can talk about the maintenance time, because they don't have to worry about repainting. It's a one-time deal. They don't have to worry about introducing water anymore. They don't have to worry about pressure washing those walls. Once they clean it, they like the dirt trap, all they have to do is remove it and put another application up, which, again, it becomes easier the more that they do it. And then there might be a concern with light and visibility in those paint areas. This will make a nice appearance, makes it a nice and clean appearance, and improves the visibility. So I mentioned about the brochure that you can pull up on our website, which is nice, because it actually, when you open it up, this is what it looks like. It talks about all of our options. Because if they don't want to go with dirt trap, it also puts our booth coating on there, so they can talk about that. It has all of our dispensers and our applicators, so we still have the magnetic wall applicators if they want to go with that. Of course, life is a lot easier if they go with the wall applicator that you showed in the video. And then, like I showed you before, on our website, we have the videos, the quick one that we showed, and then there's 3 that really dive into it if you want to get into more technical aspects of actually wrapping a booth.
Miguel, on the dirt trap, once you peel it off, can you throw the old stuff in traditional trash, or does it become?
Yep, we get that question a lot. That's definitely safe, but you just want to consider like masking paper or masking sheeting, masking tape, anything like that. So you can definitely just dispose of it just like you would with that. That's it's in the same category.
Thank you.
Yep. So that is it for the presentation. I want to thank everybody for attending, and also for Mark. And let's go ahead and facilitate any other questions if you have, Mark.
I think we've got to them all. Again, Miguel, I really appreciate your time tonight. Excellent presentation. I think some really, as always, innovative products from 3M, and I think it presents some real good opportunities for our customers to not only bring in some new revenue, but more importantly, bring some solutions to their shops. So thank you again, and thank you to all of our guests. Tonight's recording will be up on the MAL website probably midday tomorrow. Just click on the MEDCO University tab, and you'll be able to review and re-listen to tonight's presentation, as well as any of the previous MEDCO universities. Again, thank you for your time. We look forward to being able to help you in the future. And as always, if you have specific topics that you would like to see addressed on MEDCO University, just let either your MEDCO salesman know about it, or contact our customer service people, and they will get the information to us. Thanks again, and good night.
Thanks, guys.